I'm back on the ISO back end, Nightmare Luka, and I'm gonna get straight into some gameplay footage. I'm dropping the build on this video, but before you go to the builder, you need to watch the gameplay because this is not an easy build to play on. It's not necessarily user friendly. So I have to caution y'all before you make this, you got to be good at the game. You have to have some stick and you can't rely on certain attributes to carry you. You got to know what you're doing. Now, you see here, I'm on the twos court again. I'm running the one. I've got a 6-7 with me who can ISO. We can switch. We're prepared for the L2 cheese. We're on our anti-venom lineup, but we're going against a 6-4 ISO lock with a 6-7 pure back end spotting up. And this is actually a really tough lineup to go against because the 6-4s are real dominant, especially when they got that high driving dunk like this dude. He's got that 94 driving dunk. He's got high shooting, high dribbling, 96 ball control. And they use that De'Aaron Fox and they get to the rim on you. So I'm trying to sit low, not to let him have what he wants with that 96 driving dunk, make him use that 88-3. We get the ball back, and I get to bully ball in him. You can't let him see you post up too long because it's late in the year. People know how to reach on it, know how to play it. But if it just kind of pops out of nowhere real quick and you just get to it and get to work, you can pull it off that drop step on people. And I got post control in this build. Anyway, it leaves us open. We miss, but we're back on defense. We're fine. And, we've got defense on this build, and the main thing is not letting them get to the rim. And so we get the stop here. We're a big boy. We're almost max weight on this build at 6'6". You'll see here in the builder, I'm like 261, the lowest weight you can possibly be to get the 92 defensive rebound, and got max agility. So we're doing our best to stay in front of them. Foreign goes in with a real good dunk attempt, but doesn't get it to go. I drop down on the back end because he leaves his feet, and we're down 9-2 early. But like I was saying, this build, you'll see how I play offense with it. You've got to know what you're doing. You have to know your animations. You can't really crutch your way to anything specific, like just drive and dunk or like real high shooting or anything like that with this build. All the attributes are there, but they're not, nothing's like super OP. Your highest attributes are speed and rebounding. You've got ball handle and you've got mid range and you got three ball as we hit the cancel Dylan Brooks to the walk back off that cancel. I love that Dylan Brooks hop jumper animation. When you cancel it, it just walks you right back when you go to your off ball hand, especially. We get like 2 or 3 steps off that landing and takes us right back to the 3-point line. We knock that shot down from the corner. But you see Foreign cooking up here. He's getting to his bag a little bit, hits that Devin Booker, and he's dunking on that back end. Both these guys have pretty high defense, especially the one that Foreign just dunked on. But it's my turn now. So I get the rock. I've got the 6'4" pressing me. He's bumping me a little bit. It's all good. I got strength on him. I hit the Shea Gildress. Back to the hop jumper. He doesn't go for it. I try to hit the hop jumper, walk back again. He starts to scoot up. Combo moves to the KD. We get under the rim. I thought I'd get a standing dunk there, but we get the close shot to go. We got our meter on, so we can time that. And it's 9-9. Now, I'm posting them up a little bit. 2K is kind of messing me up here. I'm not even meaning to do some of these moves, but we get back to the basic escape spam. And again, I hit that Dylan Brooks hop jumper. I let it walk me back to the 3-point line, and we knock that down. So we're up 12-9. I'm getting the ball again, and I know that he knows I can shoot. So I'm going to, take my time here. I got the whole shot clock. He reaches in on me. He's getting nervous, and he should be because he's gotten bullied underneath. He's gotten blown by, and he can't keep up with me even though he's faster than I am. I'm still getting to my spots. I'm still knocking down shots. Foreign blows by the back end again, hitting that KD to the Devin Booker, and he's, taking flight. Foreign's real nice. Obviously, we kind of play a little similar. I hit the same KD go-to the Shea Gildress crossover, and then we're on the rim with that standing dunk that I love to use, especially on these 6'6s. I've got gold rise up on this build. You'll see bronze posterizer pop up a lot in the paint, even when I get that rise up like standing dunk animation as they get a reach here. I'm going to pop back out, take my time, hit them with a little fake pass just to see what they're doing. I fake the pro combo moves and same side KD go-to shot, speed boost off the right side to the Shea Gildress. The back end can't get over fast enough, and I'm back on the rim. It's 18-9. I'm letting Foreign cook up a little bit. You know, it's kind of just taking our turns here. He pulls up, knocks down the three, and we make it look easy. But those guys are good. They're purple plates for a reason. That 6'4" ISO lock is nice. I was watching them the game before that. They won the game before, and the 6'7" can shoot. So anyway, we played them really well. And what they do is they spin, and not only do they spin, but the ISO lock goes and gets another build that has 93 drive and dunk instead of 94 drive and dunk. And now he's got 99 steal and 91 perimeter. And instead of that 96 ball handle, he's got 92 ball handle, which is all you need if you don't care about having Steve Francis. And 93 drive and dunk is plenty. So he's got a lot more defense now, and he can still get to his bag. He can still, do everything he wants to do to get a bucket. You don't need 95 ball handle, Steve Francis signature size up on the twos court. So anyway, I already know he's going to be really vengeful here. I'm actually going to the post here. He's able to kind of stand me up a little bit. I'm letting Foreign know I'm shooting this fade, and it's a bucket. So we're up 2-0. The post fade is looking nice. He hasn't seen that all last game, so now he's got to look at that, and he's got that high perimeter. So, I'm just kind of trying to give him something to think about here. He ends up stonewalling me a bit off the speed boost, but it's fine. We're able to get our dribble back together. I try to hit him with another push cross, back to the drop step underneath. I don't get the stand and dunk, but I do get the rebound, and we're back up, putting the ball off the glass, and we're just little boying him, This is Nightmare Luka. We play the twos on a big build to be able to bully little guards, and a 6'4" is a little guard, right? Even with 91 perimeter, 99 steal, and he's a little bit burly, he's still little compared to me, especially when it comes to getting on the glass. Anyway, Foreign cooking up here, hitting the push cross with the Devin Booker and getting on the rim. We go up 6-0. We're both just kind of taking turns. It almost looks like we're just having our way with these guys, but I don't mean any disrespect in showing the footage. They were good players. Anyway, I go to the basic escape spam to the snatch. I do miss it, and we're back on defense. I already know what he wants to do, and it's, he wants to dunk. It's the twos court. We want to take the highest percentage shot possible, so I have to kind of bait him into taking a shot he doesn't want to take and try to get a contest on it without overcommitting. And so right there, I'm a little late to get to that contest, just try to bait him into taking a contested shot. And, we're still up 6-3, but they got the ball. And you see, he's dribbling the same. He finally gets to that De'Aaron Fox. He didn't get to it all last game. I know he was trying to get to it. He finally got to it, and he's on the rim. And so, anyway, I played it a little wrong, and I had to pay for it. It's the twos court. You got to get a stop, and it's not easy to get stops out here. But interior defense, 93 drive and dunk. We're big enough down here to get stops, and I want y'all to pay attention to the stops, the different things we're getting here, because you're going to see this build in the builder in a second, and I want you to be able to correlate the gameplay with the attributes and what the build's capable of. So here we are again, not getting our way with him. He's obviously a real good defender. He's got that 91 perimeter. I'm also worried about that 99 steal. I start to post up. Foreign comes across. I kick it to him, knowing that we got advantage on the glass. He takes a fade. I try to hit him with a quick dot. I get a weird animation. He goes baseline, gets the ball knocked out on a dunk attempt, and their ball. So Chine City, I don't know if it's Chine City or Chine City. It's probably Chine. Anyway, he snatches back, gets to his shot, which is kind of what I want him to do, but I'd like to get a contest on it, of course, but I'm trying to keep him off the rim. So anyway, we get the ball back. Foreign's obviously doing his thing, cooking up, hits that Devin Booker crossover to the hop jumper cancel. I get to cutting because I thought he was going to shoot. I'm trying to get on the glass. I go back to the post, hit the post fade, and one as he reaches. So he's seen me hit two post fades. I've drop stepped him twice, one for a dunk, one was a missed close shot, but I get the board and put it right back in. So he's gotten a heavy dose so far of post play. There, I blow by him. The back end drops. Foreign's got that thing on him. I'm not worried at all about hitting him. Plus, I got that 92 defensive rebound with the strength, so I know I'm good on the glass. Plus, I'm running horse takeover. So Foreign cuts across to the right hash. I hit him, try to get out of his way in the corner. He almost gets ripped there. Kind of got me concerned for a second, but he gets right back to his bag, hits the Devin Booker cross again, and he's back on the rim again. And so we're up 13-5. Looks like it's my turn. I'm popping out to the hash. Foreign's clearing out. I'm taking my time. I try to get to the KD go-to shot with the speed boost. He walls me up, but I'm right back in the post again. That's 3 post fades this game. 3 for 3 from the post, and we hit him with a drop step earlier. I missed a close shot, but we get the board, put it back in. So we're basically 100% on any possession. I go to the post on both games at this point. Anyway, Foreign cooking up, hitting the pro combo moves, going to the snatch to the behind the back. Doesn't get the blow by, but the back end jumps at it, and Foreign's still not able to convert. Obviously, they get the rebound, unfortunately, and knock down the 3 ball. So we're still obviously solid. It's 15-8, but they have the ball, and any team that's good on the 2's court can score 21 straight. So the last thing I can do is start letting him get comfortable. I've got to stick to my game plan. Can't start playing him too high, worried about the 3 ball too much because obviously he wants to get to the rim. I'm able to play low and get another stop on it, but they're able to get another reset. He gets to that shot off a pump fake, meaning, he's wide open. He didn't take it. So kind of confirms my suspicion, if I hadn't had it already confirmed, as Foreign gets the blow by. He doesn't want to shoot the ball. He wants to get to the rim. So we're making him shoot, get the brick, get the ball. Foreign's doing his thing with the Devin Booker. We're trying not to get stolen right now. I know they're in desperation mode. They've got a lot of steal on the court with 2 locks, basically. And we safely inbound the ball with about 12 seconds left to do our thing. Foreign hits me on a cut. Not really what I was looking for. I was really just trying to get out of his way. But Foreign is able to go down, get another push cross, get to the rim, contact dunk on the 6-4, and it's 19-8. So my turn. Obviously, we're going to try to end it right here. Anything is a win. I go to the Tyrese Halliburton to the snatch. I go back into the post game, try drop stepping them. It doesn't work, and get it back out to Foreign before I get a 3 in the key or, a bad shot attempt. So anyway, I'm back down here waiting for Foreign to shoot in case he misses. I grab the rebound, and it's big standing dunks. Looks like I got contact standing dunks equipped on the 6-4. What 6-6 build has standing contact dunks? It doesn't exist in the game, but you tell me that wasn't a contact dunk. Anyway, so we get big boards and rise right up, get on the rim, and end the game. Before we do anything, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep coming up with new builds. We're going to keep having fun playing the game, breaking the meta lineups. The Nightmare Luka build is born from a concept of my hope, my dream for this offseason is that LeBron James takes Luka into the hyperbolic time chamber because Luka is the son that LeBron's always deserved.
I'm sorry. I'll do better next time, I promise.
You did fine today, Gohan. You just need a little rest, that's all.
I do? You mean you'll wait for me?
Of course! We're in this together, aren't we?
That's right. We can do it. You and me.
Luka comes out and a different mode that we've never seen him in before, where his body fat is appropriately low and he's muscle and he's moving and he's grabbing rebounds and he's switching on defense and he's locking people up and he's finishing at the rim because he's athletic. And maybe he loses a little bit of offensive game because he's a little too strong, or he's been in the weight room too much. But I'd love to see that version of Luka. This is actually what that's born from. If you don't mess with Dragon Ball, then you won't get it. And then Nightmare Luka is a play on Nightmare Luffy. Anyway, I like anime a little bit, and I like to have fun with things. So we'll get into the build without further ado. But again, if you haven't subbed to the channel, sub already. We're on the road to 10,000 subs. But again, I have to warn you, this build is not easy to use. It is for the skilled, not the weak of heart. For the ISO back end, the build I like to call Nightmare Luka. The position has to be power forward. Height 6'6", 261 pounds, 7'2" wingspan. If you go any lower on the weight, you're gonna lose the 92 defensive rebound. Okay, you can go higher if you want, but it really just doesn't make sense to me to put any extra weight on them. It's just gonna wear them out while he dribbles. You don't get any more attributes. At 7'2", this is max wingspan on the 6'6". If you go any lower, you can't get the 92 defensive rebound. Yes, you cannot get gold set shot specialist with this. You're missing out on it at the 88 mid-range. I'm not having trouble shooting at all on this build. So we're going full wingspan. Now, first things first, let's get into the physicals. For speed, we're going to start with an 87. It maxes out at a 92 speed. Now, if you're veteran 2 and you get the season cap breakers each season, we now have 16 cap breakers you have access to. So I'm putting 5 into speed to max out the speed to a 92. For strength, we're going 86. I had an extra attribute left over, so I put it on strength in case I wanted to up it later to like a 91 brick wall if I hit legend. So we're going 86 for this build specifically. 74 vert. That's all you need for everything that we're going to get badge wise on the build. Would I have liked to get more vertical? Yes, but with horse takeover, you get a +7 to your vert, and I snagged so many boards. You guys have seen the clips. If you haven't, go back to the gameplay. This is not a build you should make if you're not ready to make it, if you don't know how to use it, if you don't know how to play on it. It's a higher difficulty build, but it's super rewarding and it shines in every spot if you know what you're doing on the game. And you can do everything you need to do with a 74 vertical, especially as a secondary rebounder who's a lot of times crashing from the outside in like a 5 setting, or you're getting boxed out, getting position and getting the board in like a 3's court or a 2's court setting. So going to close shot, we're going with a 73 to get the bronze paint prodigy. We're going 70 layup to get Zion Williamson's layup package. We're going 73 driving dunk to get bronze posterizer. You don't really get anything from an animation standpoint to go from 70 to a 73, but that bronze posterizer pops up a whole lot. If you watch the clips, the gameplay, it pops up a lot, and I think it helps finishing at the rim more efficiently where you're not bricking as many dunks. With a standing dunk, we're going up to an 81, and you get tier 2 rise up badge on a 6'6". I would go gold rise up with this. Gold rise up, it makes it feel like, I don't know, I feel like I dunk more on this 6'6 build with 81 standing dunk and gold rise up max +1 than I do on my 7-footer with 90 standing dunk. Can't explain that, but it is how it feels. And so I'm in love with that gold rise up badge that you have access to on a 6'6 with that max +1 on your tier 2. For post control, we're going with a 77. That unlocks silver post up poet, silver post powerhouse. And we're going to mix that with our mid range, which we're going to put at an 85 to use 2 cap breakers here. We'll go 80 just to show you what 87 does. It gives you silver shifty shooter. And maybe most importantly, the KD go-to shot, which is the main way I get into my speed boost, use the push cross, and get to the rim. It also gives us the silver deadeye at 85, as well as silver post fade phenom. So anyway, you'll have that to mix with your post control at the 77. You've got a very complete way of scoring the basketball. You really don't need post fade phenom badge to hit post fades. It's a nice add-on to the build. I have quite a few builds I hit post fades on pretty consistently without any post control whatsoever. I do hit them more consistently with this build, and the badge definitely helps, but you don't need it, if that makes sense. So we're going 85 mid-range, but we are using 2 cap breakers here to go 87 mid-range. We're going to max out the 3-ball to an 83 to give us that bronze limitless range. Free throw, we're leaving to a 60. It's a park build. Obviously, you can use it wherever you want. Like if you wanted to lower the 86 strength to just 85 and use those attribute points on free throw, but it is finely tuned for the 2's court first. And then if I were to make this build specifically for the 3s, I would lower the mid-range to a 73, keep the 3-ball at an 83 because the 3's court is all about the 3-pointer, defending the 3-point line, making your 3-pointers. And then you could put your attributes wherever you'd like to put them to juice the build up, maybe more perimeter defense, more steal. And then it's just a monster on the 5s. It just so happens to be an absolute nightmare on the 5s. 71 pass accuracy, that gives us that silver dimer. And of course, you get bronze break starter as well. On the 3's court, you can throw full court passes, no problem with bronze break starter. On the 5's court, I find that if I get a rebound and take like a dribble or two, which you'll see I got plenty of ball handle in this build. I throw great passes if I just bounce the ball once or twice before I throw it. It kind of takes me out of that break starter badge territory, and it just gives me a good clean pass up court. So just a tip for how you're playing the game. If you don't have a high pass accuracy, you don't have a gold or better break starter badge, try taking a dribble or two. Of course, if you don't have high ball handle, you don't have an unpluckable badge, be careful. But with this build, I don't have to be so worried about that. I'm lower to the ground. I've got unpluckable, and taking a couple dribbles is no problem at all. ball. For ball handle, we're going to go 85. I end up max plus wanting this to an 86 to get that silver ankle assassin. You can leave it at 85. You get all the same animations from 85, 86. I just like breaking ankles, so I went with an 86. And then speed with ball is a 75 to get you that silver lightning launch. Probably don't really need the 75 speed with ball, but it's really cheap to go from 72 to 75, and I could afford it, so we went with a 75 speed with ball to get that extra lightning launch badge. For interior defense, we're going with a 74. It gives us bronze post lockdown. You're not going to be a big post scoring stopper, but again, on the twos court, you're playing the one. It's not a ones build, and it's really rare you get posted up a bunch anyway in this game outside the ones court. So 74 interior is enough to get the job done, to get stops and get good contests inside. Plus, we have a lot of strength and weight, and that makes a lot of difference in this game as far as getting stops on the inside and bodying up with slashers and people trying to finish around the rim. I knock people out of their animations very consistently with just a 74 interior on this specific build. Now with the perimeter defense, we're going to an 81. We'll use 4 cap breakers here to get to an 85. 85, of course, will get us silver on-ball menace. It'll give us gold, a movable enforcer. And of course at 82, we get that silver challenger, and 83, we get pick dodger. But for now, we'll be at an 81 because we're going to use 4 cap breakers here. And then for steel, we're going up to an 82. We will go 85 eventually to get gold interceptor, but we'll stay at 82 and use 3 cap breakers here on our steel. For block, we're going with a 78 to get that silver high flying denier. Of course, at 74, you get bronze paint patroller. I wanted to be able to get chase down blocks as frequently as possible, so I went with a 78 here. And then for rebounding, we're going to a 91 and use 1 cap breaker here. That'll take us to gold rebound chaser. So 1 cap breaker here, and then the rest is going on your offensive rebound to give you an 82 offensive rebound. Once you make the build, you get shades of Andre Karolinko, Bam Adebayo, Denny Avdija, and the build name is Board Hunting Skilled Stretch. That's a cool name. I almost regret not keeping that name. I just liked having two-way in my name. Whenever I upgraded it, you'll see my build name is a two-way 3-level board hunter. But you get another option. I did the offense first, I think is why it happened, if I remember correctly. I went up on the ball handle and like the mid-range, and I had a shot creating 3-level threat as an option. I didn't like that name, but it is an option that popped up, if I remember correctly, when I started applying cap breakers. And when I apply cap breakers, I don't apply them all at once. I literally do 1 cap breaker at a time to give myself every opportunity possible to get a name change. So anyway, board hunting skilled stretch is kind of a cool name. I ended up going 2-way 3-level board hunter. I might kind of regret it a little bit, but I like having 2-way in my name. Anyway, if you want to make the build differently to be more of a slasher, you can certainly do that. If you don't like that 73 drive and dunk and you're like, hey man, I don't really like doing standing dunks, I don't trust that. It is a little bit different to take an extra dribble to get like dead zone. You can go 87 and you can get the 75 vert right there and just put the rest on offensive rebound and free throw. I mean, it's a fine way to make the build. You don't have enough to get post control anywhere. Okay. So you can just do that. And then you got 87 drive and dunk with your 75 vert. So you get the contact dunks and you're good. Another way to make the build, if you're wanting a little bit more defense, is like this. So steel's very expensive. If we drop this down, let's just drop it down to minimal right now. You can go up here. It's like an 88 interior. If you're worried about like you want to play back end on a 3-2 zone or just be more effective playing back end on the 5s court period, more on the 3s or even on the 2s just to stop rim runners. Honestly, 88 interior is going to do a lot more for you, stopping rim runners, obviously locking up post scores, just going to give you better contests overall. So you can go 88 interior there, and then you can just go 90 perimeter if you wanted to. And instead of using the 4 cap breakers for perimeter defense to bump it up to an 85, you could easily use 2 cap breakers here to push it up to a 92. And then you've got extra to play with if you want to put more strength on your build, or if you want to put more dunking on it, if you wanted to go with the 40 again down here and then go 86 with it. I mean, you have to play with it a little bit, but this is another direction you could go in case you're wondering, what's another way I can make the build. You could do this, go 87 perimeter. Use 5 cap breakers here on your defense to go to a 92 perimeter. Still use 5 cap breakers on your speed to go 92 speed. I bumped up the vertical from a 74 to 78 so that you can bump up your drive and dunk 2 cap breakers to an 89. You still use 2 cap breakers on your mid range and 1 on your ball handle. If you've got 16, that'll work as well. Of course, if you don't have 16 cap breakers, you'll have to kind of figure things out. So let me show you something I do real quick, just so, because I get a lot of questions in the comment sections for all these different cap breaker amounts. What if you got 5? 5, if you got 6 or 4 or 10 or 11 or 12. And like, I don't think the video would work very well if I made 16 different versions for it for 16 different cap breaker numbers. What if you have 0 is another question I get. So one thing I do, to give you an example here. So let's say we take down something that we know is expensive, like ball handle, right? If we take down ball handle, everything else opens up. See, I can up the rebound, I can up the strength, the speed. Of course, agility's capped out, 3-point's capped out, but everything else is open, right? So if you think about it, if I lowered something that that was cheap, like let's say I lower offensive rebound, nothing else opens up, right? So because ball handle is more valuable from an 85 to an 84, it opens up all these other categories. So something I'll do to find out what's the cheapest or most expensive, or in what order that's all in, is I'll purposely get to this position here where everything can be upgraded, right? And then I'll just start popping up the free throw, and the first one to go away is the most expensive. So speed's most expensive. So I wouldn't want to use my attribute points here, because it's going to make the build not as effective. If I can find a cheaper attribute to raise up that I really want, like 85 ball handle, for example, instead of 87 speed, then it saves me cap breaker points. So here, 84 goes away. Okay, so here I keep going. I lose drive and dunk and mid-range at the same time, so they have the same amount of value, right? Perimeter defense and strength go away at the same time, but look what's still there. Defensive rebound, right? Interior defense, real cheap on a 6-6. So we'll keep going just for the exercise. Speed with ball goes next. Layup goes next. I still got an open slot. Pass accuracy, 71 pass accuracy is more expensive than 91 defensive rebound, right? And then finally, rebound and close shot and vertical all go away at the same time. And then you got interior still at an 88, still on the board. And that finally goes away. So if you're like, hey, I'm still trying to, budget the build at this point, instead of raising the ball handle from an 84 to an 85, like I was just showing, because I'm literally doing this on the fly to show you guys other versions, it's actually better to raise this up, keep that ball handle at an 84, because I got more value now. Or if I swap these out, go 91 and then 85, I've got no options to raise any valuable attribute. But if I drop ball handle to an 84 and then raise defensive rebound to a 92, I still got a bunch of categories open, like perimeter defense, for example. So if I don't have enough cap breakers to get to that 92 perimeter defense, again, just as an example here, now I've got it open because I swapped out ball handle with defensive rebound, right? So I go up here, just as an example. And then again, you could do it all over again, right? I got the rebound up now. Let's see. So if I drop the ball handle, again, you got mid-range, you got dunk, you got speed, strength, all opening up. When I drop this down to an 83, I just do the same exercise. I start raising the free throw back up, see what disappears first, knowing that's the most expensive, right? So speed's the most expensive, then dunk, then strength, then perimeter, then ball handle, then mid-range. So if I know I'm trying to get to an 87 mid-range, it makes more sense to go up here instead of to 84 ball handle. So we can just keep doing that, because when I get back down to the 60 or 61 now, because the mid-range is tied to the free throw, I've still got more attributes to work with. So if I'm thinking, okay, well, speed definitely is off the board first, but I know for a fact I want that 92 speed. I can't touch that because I'm already 5 cap breakers away. I know I want to, let's say I know I want a 92 perimeter defense. I'm not going to touch that because I'm already 5 cap breakers away. But with the ball handle, I'm only trying to get to 86, so I can move that down. Let's say the drive and dunk, I'm only trying to get to an 89, just for example's sake. Let's just try dropping that down to an 86, and then we'll start increasing this again to see what goes away first. So ball handle goes away first. Well, actually mid-range, and then ball handle, then perimeter, then dunk, and then strength. So in this case, it's best to keep the dunk at the 87. So here, right, 1, 2 cap breakers on the dunk, a third cap breaker for 1 more on the mid-range. That's 3 total. 3 more on the ball handle is 6 cap breakers. 5 more on perimeter defense is 11 total. And then 5 more on speed, that's 16 total. So this is probably the most optimized version of this build if you wanted to make it. And you still got a lot of wiggle room. So if you wanted to take up your offensive rebound or get a little more post control in the build now, you can. You can afford to get the gold post fade phenom. If you're thinking pass, it's too expensive. If you're thinking, interior, you're not going to get anything. Steel, too expensive. If you want an 80 block, you got it. You can go 79 vertical. That's not going to do anything for you unless you can figure out a way to get an 88 drive and dunk, which, you could do that if you're planning on hitting legend, right? And just you do something like that. So you can eventually go to a 93 drive and dunk with an 80 vertical. as an option, like in the next season, which is something that a lot of people who are like veteran 4, veteran 5 are probably thinking at this point. So this might be a better version for you if you're not wanting to do the high standing dunk version and do the high drive and dunk. You can go that way. But again, if you want to make the build the way I made it, this is the version I made of what I'm calling Nightmare Luka. If LeBron were to take Luka into the hyperbolic time chamber during the offseason and get him in shape, this is how he could come out, right? Like, not dunking on people, but, you know, getting on the rim, definitely getting standing dunks, right? Being strong underneath. Still got his post game. Obviously, I couldn't get everything on the build. He should have like a 90 something post control. He doesn't have as much touch because he's a little strong now. He's been lifting weights. He's got his handle still, but you know he's a little strong again. You know his touch isn't quite what it used to be. He's got to get himself together because he's so physically strong now. He's got perimeter defense now. He actually steals the ball well anyway, but he's got more steal now. Obviously a better rebounder because he's leaping now. Not 74 vertical is not crazy, but Luka doesn't have a 74 vertical, right? And he's moving now, right? So this is just a version that I thought was real fun to think of. Is like, what would it be like if Luka got in shape? And so I had to make it power forward to make him 261 to give him this kind of rebounding. But this is the ISO back in Nightmare Luka.